Man of Interest here with This Week in Keyboards, your weekly mechanical keyboard news roundup. This week, I have some interesting topics like interest checks for the Brutal 60, another GMK interest check, an awesome PCB, some RGBs, and lube for all of your keyboard needs. But before we get to all of that news, let's talk about the sponsor for this episode, Novelkeys. Over at Novelkeys, you can check out their variety of switches, including the new ink silent switches. Novelkeys also has some new lubricants in stock for you to use to improve your switches. I'll talk more about that when we get to the news. If you're shopping over at Novelkeys, use my promo code for this month, SWITCHES, for 5% off your order. Without further ado, let's get to the news. And okay, we don't have too much news this week, but we still need to get to it. From Upas of Canon Keys, the same one who is working to bringing us the Satisfaction 75, comes an interest check for a 60% board called the Brutal 60. Roughly inspired by the Boston City Hall, this board features an aggressive chamfer where the top meets the bottom. So aggressive, in fact, that it's practically hiding the seam unless you're looking for it. The board will have an aluminum top and bottom and come with a white FR4 plate. The plate will be in either an NSI or ISO support, with support for Sangan or standard bottom row, split right shift, stepped caps, and an option for a split backspace. The plate is burger top mounted with O-rings, which will be an interesting feel to type on as you peck away at the 7.5 degree typing angle. Acoustic polyfill will be provided for the interior, which will be a nice addition to the group buy. The target cost will be no more than $200, including shipping to the US. That seems pretty good, and for what I see here, it's a pretty decent looking board with a plate mounting system unfamiliar to most people. There also may be an option to get a carbon fiber plate instead of the FR4 plate, and that may be an attractive option as well. Personally, I think I'd go with the FR4 between the two. One important note that Upas has listed is that this is to be made on the cheaper side, so overall quality may not be as good. So some of the smallest imperfections may still count as A stock. So keep that in mind if you're interested in this. Our next topic is by Natural Pack, and it's the interest check for GMK Vaporwave. The set is inspired by glitchy aesthetics and holographic anime propaganda. It's a lavender, purple, neon, and aqua colored set, and I think when it comes to sets like this, you'll be in either one of two camps. Either A, hey, that's pretty nifty, I like that aesthetic, or B, this assaults my eyes. In both the renders, the picture provided of the Pantone chips, we can see them here, and they're definitely pretty intense on the eyes, whether you like that or hate that. The mods are like a more intense version of GMK Skeletor, for example, and I don't think this set's for me. But I assure you, if this gets made, we'll be seeing no shortage of seeing this board on a Vaporwave themed desk mat. I feel like the only thing missing is that, iconic Vaporwave sunset novelty. Moving on, we have the H87a Group Buy by Heinebusch. I just talked with Heinebusch the other day on stream, actually. You all should check that out if you haven't on the Hot Swap Hot Seats. Heine is offering both an MX and Alps variant of the popular H87a, which is a TKL PCB that will fit a plethora of TKL boards. In addition to the standard PCB thickness of 1.6 millimeters, he is also offering a thinner 1.2 millimeter version. This version is great for those who want to rock a half plate or plateless build to maximize on that flex factor for a pretty fun typing experience. $45 will get to the standard PCB, and $48 will be for the thin version. Not too bad. The normal one will be a gloss red, while the thin one will be a matte black. Join by April 12th before they're all closed, so you can get one shipping to you around mid-May. Next up is the Soul Keyboard Round 2 by RGB KB. This is a split ErgoDock style keyboard which features per key lighting, RGB backlight, and underglow, Type-C ports, QMK support, rotary encoders, and different case options. The core kit is pretty inexpensive, and I think it's a pretty standard affair most people would be excited about. And to make it even more exciting, they have a gasket mount upgrade where you get a 4.8 millimeter thick plate mounted onto O-rings for a gasket-ish mount, and a polycarb case version, which I think would look really cool with all those R's, G's, and B's. Available in a half hand and full hand wrist rest version. So it's pretty competitive, depending on what you're looking for. And while the layout may not be for me, it may be for you if you're looking for a split ergo style board. So check it out. Last and certainly not least is some news from Novelkeys. Novelkeys is now stocking different lubes, including Krytox 104, 105, 106, 204, 205, 206, and Crystal Lubes 111, 112, and 129. 5 milliliters of any of these lubes will net you $8 per each with a glass jar. So hop on while you can. I know 2 of them have already been sold out. So keep in mind, anytime you order from Novelkeys, use my promo code SWITCHES for 5% off. I already have some MCG 129 that I'm pretty excited to use. Either I'll be using it on stream tonight actually, by the time this goes up, or off stream and letting you know my thoughts. Don't forget about the promo code though. Well, that's it for this episode. What do you think about the new lubes from Novelkeys? What do you think about the news for this week? If you haven't, I highly recommend you check out my Nathan Kim interview, as well as my Hot Swap Hot Seat segment with Heinebush, where we talked about the Shark PCB. If you like my content, consider liking and subscribing. I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for watching. Have an absolutely wonderful day.